Okay, everybody. So welcome. I think this is session 13. So we'll have people join us in progress. So just keep in mind if they join us in progress, I'm going to kind of go back and recap what we've already talked about. But definitely want to welcome everybody here. This might be a good opportunity, especially for Zeke and Doris. You guys probably don't know Dan very well. He's an associate of ours through Jesse. So if you guys want to talk to him about deals, Jesse's his point of contact, and then I guess so we can actually yeah, he has some good opportunities for you guys. Plus we also got Cameron and stuff like that. But this would be a good time if you guys want to talk to him about any kind of ideas or any kind of deals that you guys got going on. I know Doris, you met Dan a few times, but I think this is your second week, so have at it for a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and see if anybody else comes in. Then we're going to talk about the schedule for AI and the 1.0 tutorials, and then we'll talk a little bit about family offices and hedge funds. So I don't have any materials to share tonight, though. We're just going to kind of do an oral discussion about it. But a lot of family offices right now are looking to get into. I mean, nobody's getting into crypto, but everybody's getting. A lot of people are looking for physical assets. So our list right now is about 2,500 family offices between multi and single family offices. So everybody here has access to getting the. They're not in the 1.0. They are available. They will be in the 2.0, just like the 1.0, where you can search for lenders, and that'll be May 1st, and they will be in there. And there's probably a total with the family offices and the hedge funds and all that, the endowment funds and pension funds. There'll be over 8,000 contacts in that May 1st, and everybody that's in is paid for it, so they don't have to worry about it. They paid for it for life. The 3.0 will be July. I'm waiting. I've got 12,000 more contacts that are going to be added in. 7 databases of known real estate investors. So they're going to be single family flip investors, single family rental investors. These are specific to those genres, multifamily, short-term rentals for Airbnbs and VRBOs. A lot of stuff going on with Airbnb right now too that nobody's really doing. STRs, that's in our group. So I'll kind of like not I'll hold back a little bit on that, but multifamily is good. Guys, keep in mind also one of the things you guys have in the files tab section is make sure you download the analyzers because we got 3 different multifamily analyzers in there. And yes, I know one of them is based similar to Michael Blanc's. I know Jesse, I saw your discussion about Michael Blanc's. Yeah, his is a little bit outdated now, but it's still pretty good. But we have a couple different analyzers for multifamily. We have one for short-term rentals. The nice thing about our analyzer for short-term rentals is you can actually go in there and do the furnishings and all that too, the furniture. So it helps you actually like even depreciate your furnishings and stuff like that. Keep in mind, guys, I'm also doing this for recording. So when people if they're not here tonight, they'll be able to access it tomorrow and actually watch this. We do have a little bit of interest in short-term rentals. So a lot going on there is and then storage, but just anybody got any deals you want to discuss, let's talk about it. But the next starting next week, we're going to be doing nothing really for the next 6 to 8 weeks, but tutorials on AI. We're going to use ChatGPT-3. Justin's going to show you guys a lot of stuff. He's going to say how to integrate Hunter.io. So you want to look at Hunter.io and get the free version. There is a paid version, but just to try it out, get the free version because it's pretty good. It just limits any amount that you can send, but you can send multiple. You can do campaigns on it. Not as quite as extensive as Mailchimp, but you can also make them a lot more focused, and you can send out 25 at a time, which is the limit, unfortunately. But if you're going to go out to family offices and stuff like that, you're not really going to go out there to a whole lot. What we have also in the family offices, if you in the not just family offices, but the fund contacts is CSVs, comma separative values. So we have the 7 databases in Excel. Those will be, like I said, in the 2.0. You'll be able to search for them, and we're going to show you how to do that over the next like 6 weeks. But you can also get the CSVs, and if you load them, don't look at them because I can tell you guys I had somebody I gave them to, and they looked at him and goes, "Hey, what's all this? It's all convoluted." CSVs are like code, so don't actually look at them when you open them. But what you want to do is take them and import them directly into your LinkedIn because if you put in our 8,000 all the different databases we have. In about 30 days, you'll have about 2,500 to 3,000 friends at family offices and hedge funds. And so then we call it, and then we're advising people if they want to do that now, if they got LinkedIn, because probably in June or something, we're actually going to do a soft pitch. And we're going to show people how to do a soft pitch on LinkedIn, where you basically get to know people, what they're doing, and you become friends with them on LinkedIn, and then you can share information. Do events like put a Zoom together or put something together on LinkedIn and invite 30 or 40, 50 people there. You'll probably get 10 to show up. If you for about every 100, you'll probably get 10 to show up. But if you got 2 or 3,000 friends, you might get 50 to 100 people to show up. And it's a good idea to start. If not doing a formal pitch, start your pitch. And I can help you with the offering memorandums if you guys want to do a pitch on any of your deals. And we also can do, and I forgot to also tell everybody we have a contract generator. So I can't send it to you to use because it's a back office. I have to log into it. But if you guys need a contract, we have 30 different ones. I've got a screenshot of what we have in the group. So we have leases for your tenants if you're a landlord. We have assignment contracts. We have a lot of different agreements, purchase and sale agreements. So if you guys will get with me, let me know, hey, I got to do an agreement or something like that. I can work one. I can actually help you make one. I can draw it up in our software and then I can save it, download it, and send it to you. And then if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, we can revise it. I just got to know a little bit ahead of time because I got to actually sit down and do it with you. So that's one of the advantages also to being in our associate in our group because I can do contracts and all kinds of stuff for you. We have some already downloaded in the files tab section. And if you guys want to look at and I may do we may do a night on it. I think probably coming up, maybe we'll do one, but what we call our 3 option offer, which is where you're making 3 simultaneous, you're making it on the same form. It's actually a 1-pager. So it's simple. You can get it to 2 or 3 if you make it a little more complicated. It does come with 3, but you can get it down to 1 page. You can make 3 offers on the same deal to the same seller, and it makes them think that they're making a decision, and it's kind of psychological, but it kind of puts you in an advantage because all 3 of them are deal. I mean, you've drawn up the terms, so you already know it's a good deal for you, whatever they choose. And one of them's like, some of them have terms like interest only, and you know, you can do payments, at the end, balloon payments. So we're gonna do one on the 3 option offer, but you go ahead and make that, put on that list to if you see in the files tab section to download the 3 option offer and take a look at it. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple of websites tonight. Like I said, hunter.io. You want to download this by next week because we'll start using it next week. And that way you guys are a little bit familiar with it. Just get the free version. It's a great program for emails. So Justin's going to show you guys how to go into Chat GPT-3 and how to use, I think it's called True People. And there's also, he gave some of those websites away last week, and I'll make sure everybody has them by next week. So that way you guys have them. You want those, True People is free. Everything that Justin gave you guys last week is 100% free. So like I said, I'll make sure that you guys have them tomorrow in the group so you can download them or you can go to those pages. But True People is a great way. I mean, basically the whole idea of what we're doing with ChatGPT 3, with our 1.0, with everything that we're giving you is you can cut the wholesaler out, you can cut the skip tracer out, you can go direct to a seller, you can find the seller, you can find the seller's agent. And in one setting, by the end of this next 4 to 6 weeks, you'll be able to actually go from 0, like in a single night. Let's say you start right now, you go 2 or 3 hours, you might get 2 offers in, you might get 2 or 3 offers in. And with the lenders that we have, like we got Bell, we got Bill, we got a couple other people that are lenders, that are Gator lenders, Justin, and I'm getting a couple more that are just friends of mine. They're going to be coming in. One of them's called. They're going to be coming in, and they'll have a lot of. So they'll have a lot of opportunity to lend money if you're looking for it. For the gap, pretty much gap in transactional funding, and they can do 1 to 3 days. I think Dan, you said you do 1 to 3 months, which is kind of rare, but I think so that
Yes,
solves a
that's
lot of the
correct.
problems. Okay, cool. Oh, and I don't know, Dan, you probably need to meet Gabe because Gabe just logged in. Gabe's definitely a heavy hitter in the industry. You guys should connect.
Absolutely. I look forward to following up with Gabe. We had touched real quick last week, and I wanted to send him the finished product so he could review it. So I always look forward to reconnecting. So thanks for
Yeah.
that,
And
Nate.
we got Josh Darville's also looking to connect with you. I think you've had some conversations with Bill and a few other people. So I think that's a good thing. We can get some traction going on some of these deals. Yeah, that'd be
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely.
Cool. That works. So like I said, it's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks of just nothing but the AI and the 1.0. And by May 1st, like I said, we got 3 more weeks of, then we'll have the 2.0, and that will bring back to about a 500 lenders that are actually in verification. I got it at VA. They're actually contacting them, and they're gonna, when it comes back, we're gonna delete lender list one and lender list two and reload them. And so that'll happen May 1st. And then additionally, like I said, the 8,000 roughly plus family offices and hedge funds will be added. Then I can add the 12,000 contacts in July. One of my associates is giving me the 7 real estate. He doesn't need any real estate. He's working on a medical thing. Actually, it's like a hyperbaric. I can actually say this generally because it's like a hyperbaric thing for he's actually got an NFL, a former NFL assistant coach, and a couple of players involved, and they're working on like for concussion. But they also have a vertical kind of an area where they could go into like people climbing mountains, like people go to the Himalayas and stuff. They can actually spend 2 or 3 months before they travel to the Khumbu, which is where Everest is. They can actually they can spend 2 or 3 months bringing themselves up to that altitude artificially. So he's got a unique program. So he needs 3 of the 10 databases, and he's going to give me 7 of them, which all the real estate ones because they came with it as a package. And so we've got everything 12,000. So there's 7 databases that are just like I said, the real estate only. There's 7 of them. So and they're all specific. So these are known investors or lenders in that. So that'll be in July. He just needs the other 3 until then. And then because he has an NDA that expires in June. So I know that NDAs are everybody's kind of up on whether they can be enforced or not. I never want to take the chance of going to court just out of it's you never know. It's just a chance you take. But yeah, so a lot of stuff's going to go on in the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to basically with Justin and some other people, we're gonna basically bomb out this AI stuff and ChatGPT 3. Does everybody have? I know Doris, you said you were getting it. ChatGPT 4 is a wait list. I'm on the wait list as well. And then I did get approved because I've done a little bit of work for a securities attorney. So I got access to the law. I forget what it's called now. I was able to qualify to get it. So I may get that ChatGPT 4 early because that law firm is on the pretty much higher on the waiting list than I am. But actually, it can generate using AI, you can generate pretty sophisticated documents, and it's pretty cool. So we'll be able to actually then start actually working. We'll have everybody bring in deals after probably the first couple of weeks. I know Justin and Kevin had talked today, so they were mapping some stuff out right now for for how we're going to do it. But we want you guys to be able to basically take a chat, start a session at 6 o'clock at night or whatever fits your schedule, and basically have a deal and have it submitted for everything. Have the offer submitted and then have the funding pack submitted because you want that'd be awesome. And then you get your time back because you can always make more money, but you can't always get more time back. So we'll be good on that. And then, like I said, guys, we got, besides Dan, we've also got Cameron. Everybody's talked to Cameron. That's new. I know Doris has. Um, so Cindy and Zeke definitely get you in touch with Cameron. Barry, if you guys are interested, he's really good at so what he has the program is 50 rental properties in the mid east. I mean the Midwest, and you have to be in the Midwest and you have to have a 650 FICO or better. And they do the loan, the acquisition, they do the down payment loan, and they also will back it with sometimes they'll pay you at closing. So you might actually get paid to buy properties, which is you get 50 rental properties. And some people are interested in rental properties, some people aren't, but if you are, it's a good way to at least get in there because you can get your income and cash flow and your assets going, and you get that appreciation. And then, later on, as you're getting other assets, you could actually, cross collateralize and get into some other classes like storage or like multifamily or short-term rentals. So that's a good thing. So if you guys reach out to me if you want me to introduce you to Cameron. Yeah, sometimes he checks in, sometimes he doesn't. And then he was in the 2020 class, and just the kind of guys to let you know too about, he was probably just out of college when he was in our class in 2020. So now he's putting deals like this together, which is pretty amazing. And then, of course, Kevin's working with Glenn, but we've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of opportunity. So I think Cindy's trying to log in, connecting to audio. So does anybody have any deals right now they'd like to talk with? I know Gabe's pretty good at structuring deals and all that too. So is obviously Dan is and Jesse. So you guys want to talk about any specific deals?
No deals currently. I can't remember the name of a company, but it's similar to New Western. I'm trying to see if they can send me quotes on any deals that they're about to get done in escrow, and see if I can connect with anybody here. That's a gap or transition.
Yeah. What I know because you're in Santa Barbara, but what is that? Just the only area you're looking at, or is there any other areas? Because we got people on here and might know. Maybe it's not in their wheelhouse, but maybe they know something.
Other areas, once I understand how to do the AI and use it with PropWire or things, any market that everybody's comfortable with, working together with.
That's cool, and that's what I said over the next 4 to really, I'm trying to get it all done now. I'd rather get it done sooner than later because I want to get you guys rock and rolling. In May, we're gonna have their securities attorney or two of them, possibly two of them on. I think that's gonna be May 8th or May 15th. I haven't firmed it up, but it'll be one of those 2 dates. And so I want to make sure that you guys are ready to rock and rolling. So as soon as the securities attorneys are done, you guys are rolling and you guys are set up for June, July, and August of just rocking and rolling, and we got all lenders in place. You got the 2.0, we'll get to 3.0, and then you guys will have AI down. You'll have all the systems, all the paperwork. We're gonna probably do one or two remedial. It may be May 22nd or that week before Memorial Day. If anybody needs a refresher, we'll just go through some of the very basic forms and white label documents that you would need. And especially I've had some people that want a broker. So we'll talk about oh, Doris, you said you want a broker. I want to get make sure you guys know how to use the I gotta still put the lenders in there that you can broker for the good ones, but making sure that you guys know how to use a client engagement agreement, and how to use the borrower's checklist, and
Yeah.
make sure that you guys can have the two PowerPoint presentations. You can download them for self-paced. We don't really need to go through them again, but of all the ease and the pyramid, of how lenders evaluate deals with the pyramid. We talked about, I think it was week 3 or 4, maybe 4, we talked about that in the PowerPoint. So make sure, those two PowerPoints are in the files tab section. And I'm putting some more documents there this week. Got a couple more analyzers to add. So I just got one for storage, which is pretty cool because it actually goes really deep into it. And actually, one of the guys that helped create it used to work for Public Storage. Why not the biggest company out there in storage? I guess I think they're number one or number two. But as far as, so that's cool. Analyzers are awesome. They're not the end all be all because we all have, on different ones. I know there's like 7 or 8 of them in multifamily because I know Rod Cleef's got one, and David Toppin's got one, and I know a few other people in the multifamily space have them that are pretty good. I think Michael Blanc's goes the deepest. I mean, it literally with as many sections as it has, where you can, I mean, literally almost like a short term rentals is pretty expensive, like I said, because it goes into furnishings, and it even goes in if you're supplying like, some people stock up like refrigerator and stuff with like basics. It's, I don't know. I go into short term rentals, and most of the groups I go into, whether it's on Reddit or Facebook, that I'm a member of, people, it's a lot of people are in there hashing out complaints, against hosts and against, it's amazing how many people try to get refunds for like, it's like really they're asked for a refund for that. So it's kind of amazing. But you can go pretty far if you got a short-term rental. You can go pretty far as like offering, just ordinary stuff like, and how do you account for it and how do you project for it in your profit? If you're supplying like dish soap and towels and those kind of things or bottled water. I can tell you a cool thing is a lot of guys don't know this is I actually sold fire trucks for a couple of years and we had a we had a dealer. I worked for the dealer in Denver, but the dealer in I think it was in Virginia. He owned 3 houses like connected to each other, like a triplex pool. It was by the right behind where the factory was. We sold for E1, which was out of McCall, Florida, and it was cool. They had houses you could rent there. So instead of taking chiefs and stuff to hotels, which would be a huge expense, we just rented these three. They had three like two 5 bedrooms and a 3 bedroom, and they all had a surrounded a courtyard that had a pool and all that stuff. It was kind of cool. So they were fully stocked, man, and they had beer and all that stuff. You don't want to be liable for alcohol and stuff in short-term rentals, but this analyzer that we have for short-term rentals, it's in files tab section, does a pretty good deal on going into furnishings, and I think it's called sundries. I think is what it's sundries is the right word. So definitely use that analyzer. Like I said, I just got the storage one. I'm looking through it this week, and we'll add the storage one. I know Scott Strickland, who's his PMA, is he's very big on storage. That was one of his things. I know he's working with Kevin on some stuff right now. He and Nancy both live within about an hour of Kevin, so they spend a lot of time with him. So like I said, if you guys have short-term rentals or storage, assisted living's a little bit of a interesting space, but you gotta have we talked about it and Anthony's on it now, so you could probably say about some of his experience with it. One of our PMA members, Greg Self, is a really solid. If you guys ever want to do assisted living, we can get in touch with Greg Self. He just built a really nice assisted living in Tennessee. That's really almost it looks like I mean, it's one of those like almost like those Kentucky estates with the rolling greens and all that. It's pretty nice. And so with assisted living, you got to do the care plan. You got to decide if you're gonna do memory care, and if you're gonna do it for like just people that are aging or people that are aging, but they don't need a lot of assistance. They just need a place to live with this ADA, and they can get around mobility wise, some activities. Or do they need more structure? Do they need nursing? Things like that. Or is it injury care for people with spinal injuries and some other things? One of my friends in the fire service actually, if you guys ever remember Rescue 911 with William Shatner, he was actually if you guys ever see, you can probably find it on YouTube. He was a captain at Golden where Coors is, Coors Brewing Company. And he actually was got injured rescuing a hang glider. They hang glide off of Lookout Mountain, overlooks Denver, where the radio towers are for the radio stations. And people hang glide over this hang glider got stuck, and he fell trying to rescue the hang glider and broke his neck. And he was a paraplegic. He wasn't quadriplegic. He ended up he ended up finishing his career with the fire department because they moved him to an administration job. But he it's still a lot of injury care. Obviously, a lot of soldiers, Marines and stuff coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. My own situation with TBI. So I go to the VA and stuff for TBI. So if you guys are going to do assisted living, decide, even if you can do veteran stuff, you might get some subsidies from the VA, just like you do a Section 8. If you can do. There may be some programs. I haven't researched them, so don't hold me to it. But I would assume that the VA has some assistance programs for people that provide housing for veterans, especially injured veterans, or with. And these days, you got the two terms, guys. Obviously TBI, traumatic brain injury. There's a new term called breacher syndrome. And you guys definitely, if you're going to do anything in real estate with the veterans, start learning about breacher syndrome because it affects a lot of special forces and the Rangers and SEALs and all that. Because so what breacher syndrome is hundreds of minor detonations when their guys are blowing through doors and they're blowing windows off and they're going after the terrorists and stuff. Those guys are doing like 5 or 6 of these a night. So you can imagine these little micro detonations are injuring their brain every time. So it's a form of TBI that just got recognized. So these are just some thoughts of mine telling you guys if you're interested in assisted living to start thinking about veterans, and that can be something you need to put into your when you find a property for assisted living, and you kind of start looking for, having to put it in your analyst, you're doing your deal structure and your, the analyzer, that you take into account where that you might be able to get some funds for rehab, or even like Section 8 provides rent. So those are just a few common areas that I wanted to touch because we haven't really talked about assisted living. Anthony's obviously got some experience with those. So let me see, Anthony, what's going on? What do you think about assisted living, Anthony? Unmute. And then, like I said, guys, so I'm going to recap just for anybody who's come on. We're going to spend the next 4 to 6 weeks, starting next week, of doing tutorials on the AI. These are going to be pretty in depth. Justin Birch is going to do a lot of it, and tutorials, and we're going to talk about AI. He's actually going to show you in depth and you'll be able to ask questions. So we'll probably just stick to one. We might do one thing for like 2 or 3 nights just to get it down, and we may have some other dates. He wants to do some other dates besides Mondays. So we'll supplement Mondays. We're never going to replace them. And then we'll do probably a couple of nights on just a couple different topics. I'm guessing this could take 8 to 10, 12 weeks if we just do it all on Mondays. So we'll throw in a few, like I said, bonus sessions so you guys can get pretty familiar with the ChatGPT 3 Hunter.io PropWire. He can show you Privia and PropStream because those are obviously paid programs. PropWire is free, and then he can show you all the we have all those free programs we talked about last week, and I'll make sure there's a list of that put in the group that people, I think it's True People. I got to see if it's .com or .net. There's a couple other ones you went through last week, like 7 or 8 of them, and these are resources you guys can do all your script tracing. So you don't need script tracers. You just PropWire to, we were able to access the Jefferson County, Colorado, which is my county. Our records are not easy to get, and he was able to access them pretty easily. We actually, the same night, we used True People, we used the Colorado Secretary of State website, and we used the obviously the Jefferson County, and we were able to track down some investors that Justin's actually talking to about a partnership. It wasn't a deal for a house, but he was able to find some people in my hometown of Evergreen, of all places, that actually invest. And these are people that I never heard of them. Evergreen's a lot bigger than what people think. There's probably like 20,000 people here now. So it was kind of unique to find somebody that had because their investment business wasn't based here. It was so to be able to find their name and then basically go and find how to get a hold of them where they live was kind of interesting. So that's kind of one of the things we wanted to talk about a little bit, just kind of giving you guys more. It's actually like a house. We're at the midpoint, guys. We're going to go about another 12 or 13 weeks, and then we'll take about a month off, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up the rest of the year. So we're kind of just doing some the housekeeping tonight. So make sure you guys are definitely here. Pay attention to the in the group, guys. We had that problem 2 weeks ago, so I believe I'll make sure that I tell everybody there's 4 digits at the end of this, at the end of the ID for tonight. Make sure that what is I forget what it's called. You guys will know. What do they ask you for, the code or whatever if you call in? So if you just make sure the last 4 digits are the same, this will always be the same one. Like if we do free stuff Monday, and free stuff Mondays for everybody. There's a lot of people in other industries, and we're going to talk about awesome and some of the stuff some of the people in here don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. And free stuff Monday is just going to be cool. And I got a lot of freebies and stuff you guys can have, of course, but we're going to throw a lot of stuff out there for people and different, just some of us try to build a network for you guys as well. Like everybody that comes into this group is somebody that can network with you, and somebody who can do a deal with you, somebody who might be able to fund a deal for you, or somebody you could fund a deal for, you could partner with. We've got Mel, Bill, and a few other people that can lend money. We've got a few other people that are out there that are kind of just friends of mine that are kind of in the group just because they want to be able to. They're people that I know and I can introduce them to. And like Helena's group, you guys know we took over Helena's group a couple of weeks ago, 38,000 people. It wasn't her group, it was a guy that was digital marketer who just basically let a group get up to 40,000 people, and probably half of them are scammers. And so we've been working on it, but we're actually going to introduce people and do videos with actual people. So no one in that group is going to be able to talk to people about lending unless they actually have done a live video with us. And that's going to help. So that's going to make sure that everybody's knows who's real. It's almost like doing AMA, like a group AMA. So we're gonna do that as well here. So Cindy's still having problems getting on. You guys don't worry too if you log in and for some reason you have technical difficulties. I know it sucks not being able to answer questions, but just remember by about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, I will have the video for you. And so you guys can go back and then you can hit me up for any questions you have. So we never want people to miss out because of a technical problem. So I know Cindy's been trying to get in. Let me get some of these chat questions. Okay, I know Anthony's got you're working on a business. Yeah, Mark Kenny. Mark Kenny's good, Gabe. I know Mark Kenny. I met him at Adams event a few years ago before the pandemic. So I know he's Think Multifamily's pretty good. There's also, I believe, are they're with Disrupt Equity? Is that because that's another one that I think was there with them at Adams event. And there was Think Multifamily and Disrupt Equity. They work with Blue Spruce, which is Adam's company. Adam has he hasn't done a live one since the pandemic. Like very few people have done live events called Raising Money Summit. It's like 3 days, pretty good. And if you go to the VIP, you get like steak dinners and stuff. They actually go all out. I mean, like, well, if you go VIP, man, you're eating good. But not quite as good as Pitbull. And Pitbull rebranded their NPLA conference now. But Pitbull is probably the best for it's like 2 days, but man, it's like jam packed with like very high end resort food. Like, I mean, they literally just you could literally like sit there for an hour at breakfast and like chow down. They have a lot of excess. It's awesome. And I'll give you guys some seminars and things you can do on like right now, if you're a multifamily guys, Rod Clee for $97 has his boot camp coming up in May. It's a sweet deal for $97 because I paid $1,500 to go to the live one in 2019. That was a good 4 days. I went to that one. I think in 2019 I did something like almost 37 days at events right before the pandemic, which kind of sucked for everybody. So, and then that's one of the best ones. Raising Money, obviously. I know I've never been a best ever. I wasn't able to go when it was in Colorado for some reason. It was up in Breckenridge and it was like really crappy snowing. I only live like 30 miles from Breckenridge, but believe me, that 30 miles is like going through. It's like if you guys have seen Ice Road Truckers, like going up to Breckenridge is like Ice Road. It's not really, but it seemed like that at the time. So that's kind of what I have a lot right now. Does anybody have any questions or? Like I said, the deep dive is going to start next week. Justin's just getting geared up. So I know he had some deals going on tonight. He was talking to Kevin today. So we may end up cutting this one to an hour tonight. But yeah, believe me, we're going to probably spend about 30 to 40 hours over the next 3 months doing AI and doing the 1.0. We're going to show you guys how to search 1.0. It's not, I mean, you can actually figure it out yourself, but if you're looking for a gap lender, there's gap lenders in there. You can put in that search term or you can go to, and then you'll be like I said, by July, there'll be 20,000 contacts in there. So that's pretty impressive actually. And then I want to start working on accredited investors. So that way we can line up and they can say, hey, we've got 1,000 people that can do 100,000 or more. We got 1,000 people that can do 50,000. We got 2,000 or 3,000 people that can do 25,000 or more. We got 50 that can do 1 million or over. And then you can just pull those up, and those are the people that you can actually hit up. So I don't know. Hey Jesse, what happened to that deal you guys were talking about the other day? That medical deal. I saw bits and pieces of it.
It's pre-revenue, and there's a lot of liability and risk with medical projects, because it's going to the human body and people always get side effects and countersuits.
And Theranos, and it was Holmes.
So it was it didn't go anywhere. They're still looking for a lender for that.
That was with VJ because I know VJ Patel was on it, wasn't it? VJ was on it.
Yeah.
So guys, that was outside of That was outside of real estate, but Jesse and I know Justin and a few other people were gaming this out. It was a medical device thing, and like people hit me up all the time for like personal loans or business loans or ideas. I need this or this. It's like I can't. But if it's something that's cool, I mean, guys, we still have hedge funds and family offices and stuff, and we can actually maybe try to put something together outside of real estate. So I don't know, let me think. Actually, so let me make a co-host real quick, and then do you want to go over real quick? Give me like 5 minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm gonna quick grab some water. I'll make you co-host, and then Jesse, you want to tell them a little bit about Osmium real quick, what's going on with that, and then I'll make you co-host.
Okay.
Let me make you co-host first, and you can talk a little bit about Osmium, and then I'll come back and
So yeah, everybody knows what osmium is, probably the crystal osmium that came around. It's been over $2,000 a gram for like the last week, so it seems to have broken a new glass ceiling and hitting its all-time high over and over again. The secondary market is out, so there's already investors buying and trading their pieces, kind of like on the black market. But it's still kind of in a rough prototype platform because it's a lot of it is still written in German, so it is a little confusing.
So, Jesse, what's the price of it right now?
It's probably $2,020 a gram.
So it went up. I remember it was like
Yeah.
1900.
Yeah, I bought mine at 1980, and that was like last year. So gained a little bit, but I'm really optimistic for the future. As it gets rarer and rarer, it should like drive the price even higher, higher, faster and faster.
Wow. What else could you tell us about it?
Holding it is an experience. I have a small piece. It's like half the size of a postage stamp, and it cost me like $2,300 to get here. And I'm one of the first people in America to have it. And like I've held platinum and silver and gold and white gold and pink gold, and like this just feels like something totally different. It's cold, it's heavy. It looks like it's from outer space.
What exactly is it, Jesse?
It's an element that comes out of the platinum mines. When they mine for platinum, there's all sorts of other things mixed in there, and osmium sponge was what they call the raw, and I guess that's toxic. But they have put together this process where they crystallize it, probably a lot of heat and a lot of pressure. They don't really tell us their recipe, but it's top secret, so they're kind of like monopolizing it. They're the only people making crystal osmium. So there's probably only 1 cubic meter that's ever going to be pulled out of the earth ever. And because it only comes with platinum, which goes to catalytic converters, which go to cars, which are going electric. So with less catalytic converters, less mining platinum, less osmium.
yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Osmium's good. It's I think when it first came out in 2017, available in the market, it was like just under $800 a gram, and it's gonna triple, but this year it'll have tripled, so it's good. We'll go back to real estate. I know Cindy, I'm trying to get you in. You trying? I'll make sure you got the video too for whatever you missed. Doris, how are you? What's going on this week? Any updates?
No, they, in terms of the shopping center,
Yeah.
the
Have you
township,
got any more?
the township feel is going to be heading towards the auction block. And as I said last week, they're trying to get 1.2, because they don't anticipate these owners to pay up. And to answer the other question, no, I still have not been able to find these good folks. Now, there's 2 LLC involved. I was able to get one, but couldn't get the one who owned the main building. Just to be farting around, for lack of a better word, I was asking people if they had new ownership. Apparently, there were some issues with the remaining merchants in here about how they running the building, the leases or whatever. But the township said that if they could find someone like a Jiffy Lube or a Mighty Key to take over the old Sears auto department, or maybe a Toro business to take up the enterprise building, they would consider that. And they won't have as much resistance towards it if they try to build a 15-story multifamily.
I need to, I'm gonna connect to try to, I gotta reach him first. I gotta reach out to him. And he's one of my friends in Evergreen. He's actually working on a pretty significant project right now. But he has a lot of, he has a lot of experience with going to like the Jiffy Lubes and, kind of going out for chains. He has his development in Evergreen's gonna get Carl's Jr. And, some other things. So it's pretty, urgent care facility and stuff. So I'm gonna reach out to
Yeah.
him and see if I can have him talk to you about how to maybe you can go out and find some, if you're gonna approach him to buy it, maybe you can find some tenants, like some national type tenants to go in there
Yeah.
and basically, hey, I got this kind of deal. And I got these tenants that might be interested in it, and then maybe they'll let you try to put a deal together, and then you can get a leasing company or somebody to help you, get some LOIs and stuff. Some, obviously subject to
Yeah.
a deal going through, and then we can try to find it. We still work on it. We got lots of resources to try to help you find
Okay.
the sellers, and then we can put an offer memorandum together. And we got our people internally. We can get it to, and
Okay.
everybody in the group. We got everybody in the group. We can farm it out to and see if anybody's got any interest in it, or
Yeah.
try to help you get
Well,
the funding.
I don't know how much
'Cause
interest.
you-
I don't know how much interest they're going to be outside of this area of the Harrisburg, Central Pennsylvania area. I mean, grant you, there could be somebody from Virginia or NC or anywhere else
I
coming
mean,
in.
you're looking at maybe like I said, maybe some national chains who don't have any, who don't have any, they don't have a location there yet or something. Maybe they're in Pittsburgh or or Philadelphia or
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, and they want to get into Harrisburg because
Yeah.
that way it's kind of an interesting area. But just kind of throwing out the idea of trying to find some national tenants because I know my friend Jack basically got Carl's Jr. a couple of for the one here, and it's actually literally my friend Paul will actually and he's involved a little PMA. He's gonna be a CFO. He's gonna actually own a car wash with a different Justin, his business
Mm-hmm.
partner, and Paul's one of my best friends. And they're gonna be doing a lot of the work on the buildings that are being built, and they have a construction company, and they're gonna get part ownership of a car wash. It's gonna be like nothing you ever seen. It's like, but Evergreen's a very affluent community, so people have their big F-350 dualies and their big then they have their Bentleys and Mercedes and all that. So they like a lot of you need a really high end car wash to handle cars that get the ceramics and the high end polishes and stuff. And so it's going to be a very high end car wash. And they're also going to own there's a First Bank. First Bank is in Colorado and they have a lot their facilities are nice. They closed this one, the two other locations in Evergreen. They closed this one. It's nice. Almost looks like Aspen, the kind of lodge you'd find in Aspen going to a hotel, and they're going to turn that into an urgent care facility. Very high, so it's going to be pretty lucrative. So, and then Jack's actually donating $3.5 to $4 million to the Foothills Fire Department to build them a new station because he needs to tear down their other station to to actually realign the highway. He's actually the only thing holding him back right now is he's waiting for his CDOT, Department of Transportation, to sign off on realigning about 100 feet of the road because their snow trucks and their plows parked there and they obviously go to I-70 and they go down the part where Evergreen Parkway is like literally it's like this. You're coming up from Denver, then there's Evergreen Parkway into Evergreen, and then you go down. It's called Floyd Hill, and that's where you like eventually go up to Summit County, Breckenridge, Vale, and all that. So it gets a lot of ice in winter. The winter when I was in the fire department there, we used to call it the I-70 ice capades. As soon as it started snowing, we started our dispatch started getting calls. So it was pretty interesting. But I think that's a good strategy to still try to find the owners of that, the sellers, if they're potentially going to sell, and then maybe try to come
Yep,
in there and
you
say,
froze it.
you know, first we do, yeah, find some people, see if there's any interest in that area. If there's no Carl's Jr., there's no this or whatever. Then maybe reach out, and then you got some resources. We could, you know, there is some resources out there to find, maybe even franchisees. You know, if somebody wants to come and put a Subway. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, just trying to name some chains. But you can get some, you just can get some, and if you get some backing from them, and they want to do LOIs subject to, that might help. Like, hey, you know, the people, the powers that be might go, okay, she's serious, and then we can maybe kind of put a funding package together to seal the deal. And if you can do like a third, you know, do a long term, and you can have people getting revenue. Sometimes they just sold the Safeway, the grocery store up in Conifer, which is next to Evergreen. And it was like, I don't know, Jesse, how long ago was I talking about Conifer Safeway? For like 2 years. They finally sold it with the whole shopping center, and they just Safeway just renewed it for like 30 years. So when you look at the revenue for the shopping center after Safeway, every other store there is like gravy. As far as, you know, it was so structured so well. I don't know why it sat for 2 years. But when it did, man, it was like as soon as Safeway paid its lease and all the stuff that it paid, it was like everything else was just like icing on the cake for the new owners. So you want to find deals like that, because obviously if you get a major grocery store and they're going to lease for 30 years, you've got a pretty good deal. You know they're going to pay their bills. They're also usually going to take care of the parking lot. You know, they're gonna have the snowplow people come and all that stuff, and do the striping every 2 or 3 years. And then, you know, another one, guys, if you guys just off the subject a little bit, but you guys, if you've seen South Park, you know, you've heard about Casa Bonita, and the Casa Bonita is a legendary restaurant in Denver. They have cliff divers, and like it's huge. You would never see. If I post a picture of it in the group, you guys would never believe how big it is inside. Because in the front, it looks like just a regular strip mall, but it's like 4 or 5 stories down, and it's like from the aerial, you can actually see to make a long story short, South Park did a couple episodes with it, and the people behind South Park, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, bought Casa in there, and they put $12 million into it. They had to fix it. They had to, you know, it's a pretty nice, legendary restaurant. I mean, you used to have like a 2 hour wait was worth it. The food sucked if you're an adult, but the kids loved it because they had the puppet shows, and they had the caves and the fake jail and all that stuff. So you kind of want to look for places like that. You know, if you can bring a chain or some kind of retail or a restaurant or something like that that they don't have there, and you can find the tenants for us, I think maybe we can find a package for you. So Cindy, so you finally got in. How are you? Cool. Um, so that's a lot of stuff we've got going on, guys. I mean, I know we got a lot of deals going on, so let's try to make it a purpose. I know Zeke and Cindy, I know Kevin still wants to do conversations with you guys. So I'll try to set that up next week. I got like 3 or 4 people, so he can kind of run you through, kind of get an idea. And he's got some other resources like Gwen. And then you guys, if you have anything really interesting, you know, if you want to talk to Jesse, and he can set you up with the call with Dan, who's obviously on right now. So that's a good way to also start getting some things going like Bill has. I know Bill's doing some stuff with him. Um, like I said, just be prepared, guys, to work. It's these next 6 weeks. They're not going to be like, I'm not going to be talking a lot. It's going to be a lot of Justin, but we are going to be going pretty deep on AI, and you guys are going to be like, you really want to take notes over the next, maybe make sure you got Chat GPT 3 at least, so you can play with it. And then, what we'd like to do is get everybody good with it, know what to do by the time you can get 4. So if you get 4, you basically know it inside and out. And we got we got a list of 987 AI tools. Armando was able to give us an AI tool to find AI tools. That is actually posted in the group, so make sure you I know you have to kind of scroll a little bit, but I'll try to go and find it and repost it, and I'm gonna make like a special chat for just that a couple of those AI tools. But we've got a list. You could actually build landing pages and websites with AI. You can do, I mean, a lot of stuff outside of just even finding deals and stuff. So we're gonna do that as we go, probably 2 or 3 weeks of just finding resources to do websites, landing pages, because you want, if you're doing an offering or if you're trying to find investors or lenders, it doesn't hurt to put a landing page together or something and basically try to switch in the pot. Hey, this is a deal going on, and you put as much information as you feel comfortable out there, and then you can have the rest of it in NDA. And we can bring lenders that way. You can bring lenders to it, and you can invite them. That's another tool, like I said, for LinkedIn, when you can go in and you can soft pitch these family offices and these hedge fund leads, and you can start broadcasting what you're doing, and then it's the way that, like I said, I call it a soft pitch. You're not really doing the hard pitch on a property. You're pretty much getting them to know you, and then you can go, hey, you can do an invitation. We're doing an event tonight. We're doing a capital raising party. You can call it that and say, hey, this is the offering. This is what's going on. Make sure you're legally compliant though when you do it, and you want to be under. So before you ever do anything, wait till the securities attorneys come on, and they can walk you through a Reg D. I'm telling you, if you do a Reg D 506C, you're going to want to pay a securities attorney. And it's going to be about $8,000 to $10,000 is what they most of them have a flat fee. So a lot of them have a flat fee that I know. Jillian has one, Merrill has one. You can go to Amy Wan at Bootstrap Legal. She actually has it on her website. If you get her all the information by Monday morning, she'll have your offer memorandum, all your people, all that stuff by Friday, and she charges 8,000. But she's a very good securities attorney. And then you got a few other ones out there. You got Paul Vincent and his brother. So you got a number of them. Gene Trowbridge, which is crowdfunding lawyers. Gene's probably one of the best guys. I met him at Adam's event. Jillian and him were there, and Jillian was his partner there. Jillian's kind of semi-retired right now. I know she moved to Puerto Rico and doing some stuff down there. Like I said, so like tonight's going to be probably a quick night. It's going to be about the next 6 weeks, guys. Prepare to work, because now we're gonna have you guys do a lot of really learning how to work this. And then for those of you guys who just have joined us, I know Zeke and Cindy we'll take some time and get you guys caught up to where everybody else is, so we don't leave anybody behind. So I don't know, it's like almost we've gone an hour. So I don't really have that much for tonight. I just wanted to kind of make sure we let everybody know what the scheduling is. That's more or less. So next week we'll start at 6. I probably think we'll go probably till 8. And then Justin will probably have some breakout sessions that won't necessarily be on Mondays. And then, like I said, if you can't make them, but you'll still get the recordings. And then, we'll probably have 6 to 8 weeks Mondays, and then we'll probably have another 6 to 8 sessions outside of that, of just more like work session type stuff. If like city councils and stuff usually have the official board, the official meeting that the public goes to, and then they have the executive session, then they have the work session. So these on Mondays are going to be like the executive sessions and the official sessions, but we're gonna have a lot of work sessions and it's deep dives, because I want you guys, by the time 3.0 is out, you guys are gonna be rock and rolling. Deals are gonna be flowing. You get cash flow going, income going, and then I'm going to do what we're doing with PMA as far as our capital raise. That's going to start. We got 2 different things we're looking at right now. So if you guys are interested, I can show you the one idea, because a few people know it already. We're working with Del Morgan. I can show you guys that system. And then we're also looking at possibly, it's just hard to talk about crypto because I'm against it really, but I have thought about doing an NFT for real estate, where the real estate and the assets and the acquisitions and all the ROI is what's backing the deal, what's backing it. And there's another guy doing it, and he's I don't want to beat him to the punch if we do anything, because his is kind of screwed up. I want to do it where it's a good system where everybody can take advantage of the staking. You guys have heard about staking in crypto, where the staking is actually based off of real revenue and real dollars. I know the idea of crypto is to be decentralized, but put it this way, how much crypto do you think is really decentralized? It's mostly in, is it Sam Bankman-Fried's bank account? Or, those guys, Do Kwon and those guys that are all in trouble. So I saw an interesting thing, guys. Kind of before I'll get ready to close out for the night, but there was a Forbes article called 30 Under 30, and there's a 30 entrepreneurs who had raised like 5.5 billion for their companies or something like that. Out of the 30, like 6 of them are now under investigation or indictment, and they were in Forbes. So it kind of tells you, and they're all a lot of them are crypto. Well, Elizabeth Holmes was in that like 10 years ago, but some of these guys are all crypto guys, and they're all like there's 6 of them, and they're all going to be like the major players in finance, and like all of them are now going to be the major players in their sell block. So I don't know, man. Anybody else have anything? Dan, do you have anything to close out?
No, I just want to shout out to Jesse. He did a great job as well. Way to go, Nick, for rocking this for all of us, and look forward to working with every one of you. And way to go
Yeah.
with the group you got here, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we want to bring some more. We want to bring some more opportunities to you and your team as well, making sure you guys hear a lot of good deals. So Zeke and Cindy and Doris, keep that in mind, Matt. And if you guys if you guys want to present something to Dan, just reach out to Jesse. I'll make sure you guys have Jesse's. Reach out to me, and I can get in touch with Jesse, and he can he knows how Dan likes it, and he'll get it to him in a very presentable way. That that way you guys will get heard. And it's not like a lot of other people that pitch. Oh,
Absolutely. One other thing I wanted to add was, I just love how everyone here is just so supportive of everyone else. I really rarely see that anywhere else, and that's why I'm honored to be part of you guys and to work with you guys. So anything that I could help you guys with, by all means, please feel free to ask. And it goes both ways. Anything I may need, I'd be happy to ask you guys and lean on the support that you guys have here. So thank you.
cool. And then, hey, Zeke, one more thing is on Wyoming. Reach out to me or something tomorrow, and let's talk about because obviously with me being close, maybe I can try to even put some feelers out. Letting me know if there's specific areas in Wyoming or what you're looking for. Just get in touch with me tomorrow, and we can do that. I will be I'll be available most of the day, so you just want to touch base with me by messenger or something, then we can do a call or something.
And Nate, I'm
So-
also looking in towards Western Colorado. I'm from Western Colorado.
Okay, have
I
you
just
talked to
moved.
Bill?
No,
Have you
I
talked-
haven't.
Oh, I need to get in touch with. I'm surprised Bill wasn't on tonight, but I know he's doing some stuff right now. And I know he's doing some deals with Dan. So let's talk. Let's try to get you introduced to Bill because he's in Grand Junction.
Yeah,
So-
that's
so
30
that-
miles. That's 30 miles from my home.
Oh well, dude, that's perfect. And you guys can actually maybe you guys can. And Bill's also a transaction funder. He's a gap funder, so he may be a good. That's perfect, dude. Thanks for telling me that. Because that takes a lot of where I can hook you up with Bill. You guys are that close, and you guys maybe can do some deals. And Mel's just in Farmington, so he's not too far from you guys either, really. So that's a good thing having Mel in Farmington and Bill in Grand Junction. I need to get you guys together as a team. So that's cool. Gabe, what's going on? You got anything? Maybe busy. Matt, hey, we'll get you worked in some of the stuff that we've been talking about. And then I think probably in mid May or mid June sometime we're gonna do a PMA meeting, PMA only. So kind of go over all the stuff that's going on that'll pertain to Jesse as well, obviously. One of the others with PMA. Yeah, guys, I think I'm done for the night. I think I just really wanted to do some housekeeping tonight, schedule, and kind of let you guys know. Just be prepared to work. I mean, the next weeks aren't going to be like me talking. It's going to be we're going to do some serious deep dive over the next 6 weeks. So, well, a lot of good stuff. And then if you guys don't, want to do AI, but you just want to learn it, then we have other people that really will dig it and they can help other people. So, because not everybody's like, there's some people that aren't really excited about it or whatever reason, I mean, it goes all up to the conspiracy theories, but I honestly think we're trying to tailor it towards actually using it as a tool rather than as a life. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty much got everything I need to say. Cindy, reach out to me like tomorrow too if you want to. I want to talk to you on the phone, and then I want to hook you up as a call with Kevin, my partner, and go over some stuff. And then I need to get you resources to get you some resources and help you. So we're gonna have all the people like that have just joined us. We got like 7 or 8. We're gonna get everybody together and kind of do some off, just some, you know, trying to catch up a little bit more on the paperwork and stuff that you guys see in the files tab section. And I'll put a thing in there tomorrow, a post about what you guys should actually look for when you're just, coming onto our group, what you should look for as far as downloads and maybe the 10 essential downloads of what I've got there already before I put too many, because I will easily be over 300 downloads by the time I put everything in. And I don't want people to start getting like, hey, I got too much stuff. I don't know what to do with it. And it may not pertain to what you want to do, but it's always there. Like if you want to do something, but then you change your mind, you want to do something else, or maybe the seller situation requires you to do a different strategy. You just go to the download center and it's probably there. So yeah, guys, I'm pretty much done for the night. I think we had I just want to be pretty much informative. So yeah, anybody wants to get in touch with me tomorrow, I'll be available pretty much all day tomorrow. The recording will be out by about 9 o'clock. Cindy. Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, Cindy, we got that. So a lot of people are going through the same thing. Don't worry. I got you. And reach out to me and I can help you kind of maybe get underwhelmed. Kind of get a little bit. We can kind of sit in the right direction, and we got people that can, talk to you about that situation when you're wanting information and you start getting a little bit overloaded. And that's what we're here for. It's kind of like the white noise. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna sign out. But anybody wants to get a hold of me tomorrow, reach out.